verse 16, we won't read it, but we see that for 40 days and 40 nights, 40 days and 40 nights, there was a Philistine, a giant, who took a stand against the children of Israel, began to curse God. Then Jesse had sent David to the scene of this battle, or where Goliath was, and he sent David to make sure his other 3 sons were okay. But when David gets there, he overhears this Philistine talking against the Lord. Let's pick it up from verse 23. As he was talking with them, Goliath, the Philistine champion from Gath, stepped out from his lines and shouted his usual defiance. And David heard it. Verse 24. When the Israelites saw the man, they all ran from him in great fear. The Israelites did what? What did we just read? What did they just do? They ran from him in great fear. Everybody say, they all ran from him in great fear. And that's what they did. That's what the Israelites did. And we're about to see that David and the rest of the children of Israel were facing the same exact giant. Because I'm going to stick with me. David and the children of Israel, were facing the same exact giant. Their problem was the same. I'm sure every one of us would agree that David seen a huge man as well as the children of Israel. They were facing the same circumstances. Both parties' back was against the wall. The only difference between the two, between David and the children of Israel that were dismayed and terrified, the only difference was their perspective. The giant was the same, but their perspective was different. The problem, the circumstance, the situation was the same, but the thing that wasn't the same was their perspective. That was different. And this passage makes it plain as day that their perspective, or how they were viewing the giant, was different. Start again with verse 31. It says, what David said was overheard and reported to Saul, and Saul sent for him. All right, so Saul's the king. David overheard this. Remember, he went to go feed his brothers, and he overheard Goliath saying what he said. And so David said something that Saul heard, and Saul sent for him. David said to Saul, let no one lose heart on account of this Philistine. Don't be afraid. Don't be terrified. Let me go and fight him. This is what David said. Can you believe this? A kid was willing to go fight a giant. Let me go fight him. Out of all the other men, soldiers, the children of Israel who were soldiers, men who were trained to fight. They were trained. David was a shepherd boy. He took care of sheep. But you have men, he was a boy, you have men who were trained to fight, that knew how to work a sword, that could work they knew how to wear their armor. They were trained to fight. But David said, I will go fight them. And everybody else was afraid. And here comes this young teenager, willing and ready to face the giants. Not because of anything else other than their perspective. Verse 33, Saul replied, you are not able to go out against the Philistine and fight him. The king said, dude, you're crazy. You're only a boy. And check this out. And Goliath, and he has been fighting man from his youth. Saul is saying, dude, you are nuts. You're crazy. You must be on drugs or something, dude, because there is no way you can go fight this guy. But David said to Saul, your servant has been keeping his father's sheep. When a lion or a bear came and carried off a sheep from the flock, I went after it, struck it, and rescued the sheep from its mouth. When it turned on me, I seized it by its hair, struck it, and killed it. Verse 36, your servant has killed both lion and the bear. This uncircumcised Philistine will be like one of them, because he has defied the armies of the living God. Now watch this. I'm going to give you the key of what I've been talking about the last 3 weeks. I'm going to show you the key right here. You guys ready to see the key? Because I'm going to show it to you. You ready? Yes. Amen. All right, watch this. Verse 37. The Lord who delivered me from the paw of the lion and the paw of the bear will deliver me from the hand of the Philistine. Let me show you what the key. The key is the key to facing giants. It's perspective. Thank God it's quiet in here. Thank God. Because I want you to hear this. From what perspective right now are you facing your giants? Right now. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah. Are you facing them from your sorry, weak, human, limited perspective? Or the Lord's powerful, nothing is too hard for him perspective? Which perspective? Obviously, the children of Israel were looking at the giant from their frail, limited human perspective. They were looking at it from their weak perspective, to where David looked at the giant from no weapon that's formed against me will prosper. Greater is he that is within me than he that is in the world. Perspective. What perspective are you looking at your giants at this very moment? How are you facing them right now? What perspective are you looking? What, if you will, if you have glasses on, what kind of glasses are on your, what are your on your lenses? Is it God perspective, or is it human, our frail weakness perspective? This is the key right here, church. It's not how buff you are, or swole, however you want to say it. You know what I mean. It's not how handsome or pretty you are. It's not all about that. That's not the key. It's not how much money and education or how brave you are. It's not what side of the tracks you were born on. It's all about, are you going to put your trust, your hope, your faith in the Lord? Which perspective are you watching it from? Once we realize that we have to stop running from our giants and face them and have the proper perspective, then we will be able to face and overcome our giants, church. Verse 40, then he took his staff in his hand, chose 5 smooth stones from the stream, put them in the pouch of his shepherd's bag, and with his sling in his hand approached the Philistine. Let me tell you something, church. This is a perfect example of God demonstrating how he will come through when all the odds are against you.